I'm gonna just jump right into it. Today's title is The Cincinnati Brawl, Programming, Propaganda, and Culture. Nobody wants to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that every aspect of American society is filled with programming and propaganda, specifically geared towards Black people having an unfavorable view of white people. It's in the media, it's in the movies, entertainment, it's in the music, it's in the schools, education, it's in politics, it's everywhere. There's an intentionality behind how they want Black people to view white people. Nobody wants to discuss it because nobody wants to admit that they've been programmed. Nobody wants to admit that they've fallen victim to propaganda. But I can assure you that Black people, most Black people, have an adverse view of white people. And it's done because of years of programming and propaganda since birth. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about so this can make sense.
Sure, it's a value system. And what we need to eliminate that value. I would not say they're influenced by white people, they're influenced by whiteness.
What does that mean?
Whiteness is an ideology, it's a culture, it's a value system. And what we need to do is we need to eliminate that value system.
You want to eliminate whiteness?
Whiteness, not white people, whiteness.
But how do you eliminate whiteness without eliminating white people?
What I want to do is to create an environment that is more collective, that is more value driven. And I think that flies in absolute oppositeness with whiteness.
Are you saying that white people are evil?
No.
They're not evil?
Not at all.
But then if they're not evil, why would they treat another human being to a point that a man like you would want to eliminate whiteness?
We are all fallen people.
So you saw in this video where this guy says that whiteness needs to be eliminated and that whiteness is basically the opposite of everything good. Jesse Lee Peterson asked him, well, how can you get rid of whiteness without getting rid of white people? And he says he doesn't want to get rid of white people. He just wants to get rid of what he believes is whiteness, i.e. white values, i.e. white culture, i.e. white society, i.e. Western culture, Western society, so on and so forth. This type of programming and propaganda is everywhere. It has infected every aspect of American society. Imagine if a white person said, we have to eliminate blackness. And then they said, because blackness is against everything that's good. That person would be a white supremacist. That person would be called racist. That person would have gone viral for what they said. But when a Black person says, we got to get rid of whiteness, everybody agrees. But common sense would tell you, how do you get rid of whiteness without getting rid of white people? You can't. You can't. And so again, that's an example of how deep this rabbit hole goes that nobody wants to address. So when there's interactions between white and Black people, it's not objective. It's very much a subjective interaction because most Black people are infected with programming and propaganda. Another example.
Care about the prospects, because you address the issue. I think we've got to start making sure that this is not something that we're doing because of an electoral strategy, but something that we're doing because we actually care about the prospects, because it is true that we have a justice system that has been targeting and weighted against Black men. We have an education system that has been deliberate about the way that we are criminalizing and punishing Black boys when we're watching the results of our young Black boys continue to downgrade, and we are actually then turning around and blaming the Black boys for their failure. Not the system, not the structure, but the young men.
Yeah.
Blaming them. We do have a system of employment where we make it more difficult for black men to be able to enter into the employment market. We do have a system that makes basically every sentence a life sentence, that when someone comes back from incarceration, we make it deeply challenging for them to be able to get public housing, challenging for them to be able to get a student loan, challenging for them to get a home loan, challenging for them to reintegrate with their families. And then we wonder what's going on with the black men and why they're not voting for us.
Oh, man.
Again, now you can say that what he said was true. You can say that what he said is false. At the end of the day, though, he's allowed to say it. He's allowed to say it. And when he's speaking as if it's facts. This is the problem. Programming, propaganda, every day, all day, and most folks are none the wiser. So when he's talking about the system, what he's talking about is white people. When he's talking about the system being against black men, when it comes to education, incarceration, and society in general, he's talking about white people. I just heard a black man tell me yesterday that black people don't have freedom of movement in America because of the police. So when black people are interacting with white people, it's not purely organic. It is from a programmed and propagandized point. And we have to acknowledge this. We have to sit back and say, what are the effects of decades upon decades upon decades, even a centuries or over a century's worth of programming and propaganda? What has it done to black people? And nobody wants to address it. And they don't want to address it because it's too much to unpack. It's too much to deal with. It's too much to have to go back and peel back all of these layers, because then you start uncovering the real plot and the real plan and the destruction of humanity. This is all about division. So we're going to get into the Cincinnati Brawl, but let me say this. Just because somebody is wrong doesn't mean they deserve your version of the punishment. Does that make sense? The Bible says that the Lord says that vengeance is mine. You know why? Because a person, human beings, people, we cannot exact righteous vengeance, because God's vengeance is based on what you deserve. Man's vengeance is based on how he feels. So just because somebody does something wrong, it doesn't mean that your punishment is righteous. So in other words, the white man was saying racial slurs. He was. And then he also struck someone. So the white man is wrong. But does him being wrong mean that you all get to beat him and his wife up? You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand that just because you feel offended by something, just because you feel like you've been done wrong, doesn't mean that your version of the punishment is right? But let's listen to some commentary on the subject.
Politicize it. They have not yet said, for those who want to politicize it, the J.D. Vances and the Vivek Ramaswamys and the Bernie Marinos and the Christopher Smithermans and many others who want to politicize it, they have not yet said something that I always hear when a black person, say, runs from the police and then is met with disproportionate force, sometimes ending their life. What we hear is, well, why did they run? Why didn't they just comply? We hear that every time. But I've yet to hear anybody say, why didn't he just walk away? So let me back up so you understand this. Two combatants, one black, one white. A black man steps in, breaks it up. The white guy re-engages, slaps, not the black man that he had just squared up with, but slaps another black man. And nobody's asking, why didn't he just walk away? And so when I see, and I don't know who else the chief is looking for or CPD is looking for, but when I see the mugshots, I only see people who look like me. I don't see the person who re-engaged, slapped not the initial person, but slapped another black man. So I don't see the slapper's mugshot. And so sadly, I have to agree with those who are politicizing this and racializing this. I have to agree with the Smithermans, the Ramaswamis, the Marinos, Corey Bowman. This is racial because it is unequal justice. And so until we...
So stop right there. So again, this is a part of the programming and propaganda. As I've said before, this was a video captured on social media. I'm telling you that the white guy was using racial slurs. I'm telling you that the white guy slapped another black man. I'm telling you that the white man was wrong. The problem, though, is that does the punishment that was given to the white man, is it purely objective? Is it purely this man offended me, this man hit me, or this man did whatever, and I'm giving him the punishment based on this isolated incident? Or is the brawl linked to programming and propaganda? And we're talking about decades worth. This is where the nuance is. How much of the interaction was based on programming and propaganda, and how much of the interaction was just simply based on what happened at that moment? And that's the problem. Nobody wants to address that. Even this pastor speaking, I'm assuming he's a pastor, I don't know who he is, but if I talk to him, he's going to have a whole laundry list of things that white people are doing wrong. He's going to have a whole laundry list of things of how white people messed up. He will not have the same energy for black people. I guarantee it. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I've talked to thousands of people, and it's the same script every time. Because most folks don't believe that they are programmed and propagandized. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. And then when they realize it, they don't have enough courage and character and guts to admit it.
We see all the mugshots. This is still a racial issue. So let me say again to those in Cincinnati, it's Friday night, and we know people like to go out on Friday night. Here's what I would ask. Because of what happened this past weekend, we don't want to see it happen again. Drink responsibly, take care of one another, and everybody get home safe. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. I'm truly grateful for the outpouring from every sector of our city here today and over this past week. It has been a challenging time.
So my question is, what do you think the homicide rate in the black community is in Cincinnati? Now, Cincinnati has a name where it's called the Nasty Natty. My question is, what do you think the homicide rate is in Cincinnati? Now, everybody's concerned about this white man being brought to justice. What do you think the homicide rate is in Cincinnati? Do you think they're having press conferences about the homicide rate in the black community in Cincinnati? You think that's going viral? You think all these black men killing each other in Cincinnati, you think that's going to go viral? Of course not. You know why? Because most people are programmed and propagandized. They can't even see that what's going on in this video pales in comparison to what's actually going on every day in the black community. And what they want you to do is take this isolated incident and push it all the way to the top of the pile. So again, we know that the Nasty Natty didn't get its name because of white people. The Nasty Natty got its name because of black people. But that won't go viral. Nobody cares about how many black men kill each other. Nobody cares about that. They care about whether or not this white man's being brought to justice. Is the white man wrong for what he did? Yes. Is he wrong for using a racial slur? No. Is he wrong for putting his hands on somebody? Yes. Did the punishment match what he did? Absolutely not. And so when we're talking about this, we have to always ask, is this interaction purely about this incident, or is it about programming and propaganda? And it's possible to be on both sides. It's possible to be on the white person's side and the black person's side when it comes to programming and when it comes to propaganda. Because like I said, this is being pushed on Americans, period. Now, does that man's one slap and racial slurs, well, he said the N-word twice, does his N-word twice and slap warrant all of this? Now, if a black person had done the same thing that he did, said 2 racial slurs and slapped somebody white, and 5 white people jumped on him, do you think black folks would be understanding? Do you think black folks would say maybe he should have walked away? Do you think black folks would have been like, he started? No. No. You know the truth. So not only is this a racial issue, but even how this is viewed is through a propagandized and programmed lens. Even how this is viewed is still racial. Because we know if this was reversed, the outrage would be totally different. It wouldn't be all these calm and somber discussions, everybody's civil and everybody's calm. You notice that when it's black people in the wrong, it's always a calm discussion. They want to get to the bottom of it. They want to find a detail. They want to see the nuance and all of this. But when it's white people wrong, oh no, it's passion. This has to stop. America's racist. We got to do something. Trump is giving them, emboldening these racist white people. He's giving them all of this rhetoric because nobody wants to admit that they are programmed and they've been propagandized. Now, they've been beating this man far past the slap. Now, once this guy is knocked on the ground and no longer a threat, it should have been over, but it wasn't. They continued to beat this man. So I'm gonna ask you again, is what they're doing to him justified? He said the N-word twice. He slapped somebody. Now tell me when enough is enough. Who decides when he's got enough? Now, is this beating just about this incident, or is this beating about years of programming and propaganda? Because I guarantee when they had a discussion about this incident, they were talking about white people in general. So you see what happens is that this white person doesn't represent himself. He represents what black folks call 400 years of oppression. This is why everybody's jumping in, getting their lick in. This is how they get back at the system.
Damn! Damn! Woo! Woo! Oh!
Now it should be over, right? Now he got 2 separate beatings, so now it should be over. He got 2 separate beatings, So it should be over. Now we can agree, everybody can agree that 2 N-words, 1 slap. Okay, he got what he had. So now it should be over with. Everybody should be satisfied. He got the brakes beat off of him. Black folks got their revenge, and we should all be satisfied. Now let's see what happens. Let's see if it's really over.
Good. His pants down. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. My boy drunk. Oh.
So as you see, after he's on the ground beat up, the black people are not leaving him alone. They're still over there antagonizing him. After he's beat up and got his punishment, the black folks are still over there antagonizing him. Is it about this incident or is it about this 400 years of oppression? Now they're trying to get him up, and these black folks are crowding around him, still antagonizing him.
Damn.
The guy is saying, let him go, let him go. So again, it's over now. So now we can all agree that it's over. Now we can all agree that it should be done. He got what he deserved and all of this. Now let's see what still happens.
Oh.
So now we see they go after his wife because man cannot exact righteous vengeance. So now we see his wife get sucker punched. So now we got a whole separate incident. She didn't throw any punches. Now we got a whole separate incident of this white woman being attacked. So we know that in the black community, any other incident overshadows the previous incident. So, for example, so if a person robbed the store, beat the clerk up, but then went outside and the police beat him up, we know that the police beating him up overshadows what he did in the store. We know this. This is how black folks operate. The second wrong outdoes the first wrong. So in the black mind, in the program propagandized mind, this second incident overshadows the first incident. Because if some white women and white men had attacked a black man's wife, this incident would have overshadowed the first incident. We know this. Okay.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Standing over her, antagonizing her still. Standing over her, she's on the ground unconscious, knocked out, over antagonizing her still. So now we see in this so-called incident that the black people never stopped antagonizing the white people. Never.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, she right there. Damn. Help her up. Whoa!
So the reason why, in case the pastor is wondering and everybody else is wondering, the reason why what the man did was overshadowed because that you all set the precedent. You all said that the second wrong always covers up the first. This is what black people do. This is black culture. If the criminal's wrong, his wrong gets absolved when the police get involved and do something wrong. So because they attacked this white woman who didn't do anything but try to protect her husband, that's going to overshadow everything else. You all set this precedence. You all did. Let's continue.
The woman, obviously, he's disgusting. He's a coward. He wasn't raised properly or raised at all, and he needs to go to prison for a very long time. But the context, I think the police chief was talking about it. I saw the video, which started a little bit earlier, and the white guy was squaring up with a couple guys, and he was squaring up like they were going to go at it. And then a couple guys came in and tried to squash it. And then the white guy reached over and slapped the guy's face, and then he just got pounded. Now, no one deserves to get kicked in the head like that. That's not appropriate. That's not even the way you street fight. You don't do that. The guy's vulnerable. He's not protecting himself. You can't gang up on him like that. Okay.
Okay, but, Rambo.
And everybody knows this, Greg. But you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And you're downtown and you're drunk and you have a woman with you and you're at a R&B fest in inner city Cincinnati. Now, I don't know what started it, whether he was defending his honor or hers, or he bit off some more than he could chew. But that's not a good situation to be in. You got to use common sense in that situation. And I'm just glad he's okay. You got to see the video. Guy should have walked away. Surrounded by guys like that at 3 o'clock in the morning. No, it's a fight you can't win.
I think when Netflix does the series on this, they're going to have the crowd's going to be white. The victims will be black. So we'll see a whole new.
They'll straighten it out.
Yeah, they'll straighten it out.
We'll see. All right. Come in.
And again, because everybody knows what he just told you in the end was the media propaganda and programming. You cannot show white people as victims. And I know you all hate to want to hear this, but this is where we are, and we have to address it. We must address it. That people have been so programmed and propagandized, especially Black people. Especially Black people. So should the white guy have walked away? Yes. Should he be outside in public at a festival, him and his wife intoxicated? No. But does him being drunk, intoxicated, making poor decisions, using the N-word twice, slapping someone, does those things justify what happened to him? No. Because what they did to him was beyond what he did. That attack on him wasn't about him saying the N-word or slapping someone. That's not what that attack was about. That attack was about decades upon decades, centuries of programming and propaganda, where Black people are programmed to dislike white people. They're programmed to dislike whiteness. They're programmed to believe that white people are oppressing them. This is programming and propaganda. If you ask the average Black person how they feel about white people, you will not get a positive response. So don't tell me that the years of programming and propaganda don't affect interactions between white people and Black people. Don't tell me that Black people have less tolerance for white people than white people have for Black people. Another example right here of propaganda.
Take you out. Leave me alone. Let's goddamn go. Leave me alone. Get your fucking truck. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Get your fucking truck until the cops get
I'm leaving.
now. Get me out of the fucking phone. Let's go, bitch.
Let's go.
Get in the fucking truck.
Yeah.
Don't get out of the truck no more.
Don't get out of the truck no more?
Take you out. Yes. The sheriff's department's coming to get rid of you and your fucking mud.
Okay.
So stay in your truck.
Yes, sir.
Before something bad happens.
Yes, sir.
Get in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do it now.
Yes, sir.
Take all your videos.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying, shut your door, shut your mouth.
You're the sheriff? You're the sheriff, right?
Yes.
And you weren't trying to talk to me. Can I'm draw the window
I'm
down?
done talking with you. Shut the door.
Can I draw the window down?
No, roll the window up, roll the other window down.
Hey, sir, you slammed the door on my dog. And that's all I'm recording.
I'm going to put you in jail.
That's all I'm recording for slamming on the dog.
I didn't slam it on the dog.
You did, dog? Yes, you did. Have it
had
on
a hold
recording.
on. Get in the door.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I'm going to jail.
Y'all going down. This town going down.
Now, this video went viral and nobody knows what happens. But who do you think black people said was in the wrong? Nobody knows what happened. We don't have any context. All we know is that they mentioned him and his dog. They mentioned him and his dog, and they mentioned him being on that property. That's why they said, get in your truck and stay in your truck. So we do know that he and his dog were on that property. We don't know what happened. We don't know if the dog, we don't know what happened, but we do know contextually that he was out of that truck with his dog. What he's supposed to be doing, I don't know. What he did, I don't know. They could be in the wrong. We don't know. But what do you think black people said about this situation? Black people said that the white people were racist and they were attacking the black man and they were in the wrong. So why are these black people picking the side of the black man with no context? I'll tell you why. Because it's decades and decades, centuries worth of propaganda and programming. So you can't look at a situation objectively because you're already programmed. I call it the Blatrix. You can't look at a situation objectively because you're already programmed. So if a white person is even angry, they're already racist. If a white person has a position different than yours, they're already racist. If a white person is conservative, they're already racist. If a white person is Republican, they're already racist. If a white person likes Trump, they're racist. If a white person doesn't believe that America's racist and oppressing black people, they are racist. And the problem, let's continue.
Yeah, this town going down. Man. Hello? Hello? Hello?
And so now you see him with the bulldozer in front of his truck because they want him to get arrested. So I don't know what happened, but I do know that in these interactions, it's never white people going to bother black people. It's never white people going to where black people are, going over to where they are and starting some mess. It's always an interaction where white people are here and black folks come over and then something happens. Now, am I saying that white people are perfect? Absolutely not. Am I saying that white folks are always right? Absolutely not. Am I saying white folks are without sin? Absolutely not. What I'm saying is that what everybody complains about white people for are the very things that everybody else does. But what happens is that white people that display the same attributes and characteristics and behavior that everybody else does, when they do it, they're put in a separate category. That's my issue. And again, we can't look at people objectively because you already been in years of programming to where white people are already seen as the quote unquote system, as the oppressor, as the colonizer, as the imperialist, as the fact, all of these terms white people already have. So anytime white people have an interaction with a group of people that is unfavorable, it is always assumed that the white person is being racist and oppressive. That's what I'm pushing against. We all have sinned and fallen short of God's glory. Everybody. So if white people are doing something, it doesn't mean that they are racist or oppressors. Just like if a black person is doing something, it doesn't mean they're being oppressed or that they're victims. We have this thing called human nature. And until you all are ready to look at these things for what they really are, until we are ready to actually tackle what this programming and propaganda has done and what it's continued to do, it is only going to get worse. My channel is not about absolving white people of responsibility. My channel is about holding everybody accountable. That's what this is about. Holding everybody accountable and acknowledging that we have been under a century or more of programming and propaganda. And most of that programming and propaganda has been geared towards Black people and now what you would call the marginalized groups.